The Blisters and the Arlsdale, Chapter 1. One day Rex was shunting in the yards, and as he was shunting, he saw the manager on the platform rushing. "Is something wrong, sir?" "Oh, no, just waiting for the new 2 diesels." "2 diesels? What are you—" Suddenly there was a loud 2 horns, and then pulling in were 2 small diesels with squad cabs, and they had hazard stripes on the front of their smoke boxes, I guess you could say. He read their sides, Blister 1 and Blister 2. "Hello there, I'm Blister 1, and this is my brother Blister 2. A pleasure to meet you. But why are you called Blister 1 and 2? Well, on our old railway, our manager did not like any of us. He called us names, very horrible names, and he decided to name us Blister 1 and 2, as all we did was be shunting cars around, and we were built during winter when there was a huge blistering cold. He decided to name us Blister. He was a very horrible man. He would stick us in cold, dark sidings in the winter." "That's horrible," said Rex. "Well, I'm sure the manager won't do that here." "Indeed, Rex. Now take them to the sheds." "Yes, sir." When they arrived at the sheds, there was Mike, Jocks, and Bert. "Where's Frank? He has to be introduced to these 2 new diesels." Who cares about him?" said Mike. They had a few differences, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, I want to introduce you to Blister 1 and Blister 2. "Blister 1 and Blister 2? What a stupid name to give to such a stupid thing," said Mike. "Mike, that's a little rude, don't you think?" "I don't care. We have too many diesels on this railway. Why don't they just get out of here before I make them?" "Listen, you two, there's something you should know. Never look at and get near me. I'm sick and tired of you already, and those stupid passenger trains." "What have you got against passenger trains?" "Let's just say one day there was an argument between Mike and a man, and it just got complicated. But that's a story for another day, too. Anyway, I'm not letting them in this shed. They'll filthy it, just like when Frank knocked it over." "Now, Mike, that's hardly being nice." "I don't care. Go blood physician." "Blood physician? What does that mean?" "I think he means bleedy hell." "Ooh, that's bad." "Now get out of my sight." They were frightened by Mike's big voice. It sounded like a kaboom, so they ran away. "Now, Mike, that is very rude. I don't care. They don't want to mess with me," said Mike, and he pulled into the shed grumbling. "Oh, I'm going to go follow them and see if they're all right." They were in a shed, silent. "I don't think I'm going to like it here already." The next morning, they had to go shunt in the yard. Come on, hurry up with my train," said Mike. "Stupid things." They shunted the train in a fun manner. They passed cars to each other. "Here, Blister 1, catch." "Got it, Blister 2. And with that, it was fun until they finished Mike's train. "About time," he said. "You things are nothing but trouble. Now clear off!" And they rushed away. But they didn't clear off because they were scared. Rex had told them some advice. Whenever Mike is rude, just ignore him. And that's what they did. The next few hours they passed playing with cars until Bert and Rex arrived. "Hello, I'll be getting my train," said Bert. "All right, just give us a minute. We need to get A, C, and B down to D, E, and F." "A, B, C, D, E, F? What does that mean?" said Rex. "Oh, we have a manner, and it's alphabetically for our standards. We have the buffers named alphabetically and the trucks alphabetically. We have moved a lot from different yards on our old railway, and we really have to get used to it." I see, very clever, said Rex. With that, they shunted 3 cars into a pair of sidings, and Blister 2 quickly coupled up to the cars that were ready for Bert. He pushed them into Bert, and then Rex got his train too. They heard a grumbling, and then there coming in was Mike. He passed by quickly with his passenger train. Rex was sitting next to Blister 1 and Blister 2. Stupid things, he said as he passed by them. Don't listen to them. We know. We followed your advice. He's nasty and we don't ever want to be near him. As that day progressed, they all had a wonderful day until tea time came and they had to go to their sheds. Rex decided to stay with Blister 1 and 2 for the night. They thought that they were very talkative, and Rex was fine with it, as he didn't get much sleep at night either because, funnily, Mike snored. Anyway, Bert was a deep sleeper and all the engines just coped with it, but Rex couldn't. But he did get to sleep for a few hours, and now at the with the Blisters, he felt right at home as he talked with them about his origins. He had worked on the Somerset and Dorset Railway. No, not the Somerset and Dorset Railway. He had worked at an original Arlsdale Railway. I think it was the Somerset and Dorset, said Rex. I can't remember the name. I worked there with Mike, as Bert worked on another railway, and Jock, I think, came from the Highland. Or maybe that was just Donald's wild suggestion. The Blisters and Rex talked throughout the night, but eventually their eyes forced themselves shut. "Good night, Rex. Good night, Rex," they both said at the same time. "You know, you two are very identical." Thank you. And with that, everyone went to sleep. As the next morning progressed, it was more shunting. But then the wind began to pick up. "Goodness me," said Blister 1. "I know, Blister 2. It's really picking up." With that, the two were working hard, but the wind was blowing wildly. Suddenly, they saw a gray diesel coming. "Hello, you two," said the gray diesel. "My name's Frank. What's yours?" "I'm Blister 1. I'm Blister 2. "That's an odd name." "Well, you see, so then and after that we were named Blister 1 and 2. Very interesting." But then they heard gritting teeth. "Oh, no," said Frank. And there, pulling in, was Mike. The 3 scums of the railway, all pucked up together. "Listen here, Mike, I'm gonna knock your funnel off if you don't get out of here right now. You have been a horrible asset to this railway. After you called me those while I was gone in the works, I never want to speak to you again. Now, if you don't get out of here right now, I am going to—" And Frank said a few choice words at Mike. "Well, goodness me, good riddance." And with that, he biffed cars right into Blister 1 and 2, and they derailed right into each other. "Mike!" said Frank, but he had already left away. That idiot. "Well, I'm going to be working on this part of the line for a while, shunting, as Rex has been having to shunt over on the where I shunt, because he's having to do little more jobs as the goods clients are beginning to decrease." "Oh no, then there's no place for us." "What do you mean? We are only goods shunters, you could say. We've never even pulled a passenger train in our life. When we asked the controller, he would stick us in the shed for a month. That's not a way to treat a diesel." With that, Frank, Blister 1 and 2 talked all night, and they didn't get a wink of sleep, but they were fully energized for some reason. Anyway, the next morning they began to work, but then Frank dozed off. He was shunting cars to collect coal, but as he pulled up, he felt himself under the chute. He heard a rumbling noise. It woke him up. "Oh no," he said. He closed his eyes, waiting for impact, but suddenly Blister 1 and Blister 2 shoved him right out of the way, and they got covered from top to bottom in coal. "You saved me," said Frank. "It's fine, we're already black, so what's a little more black?" With that, they all chuckled, and when they went with Rex to take a train, Mike saw them. "Filthy mutts," he scummed to himself. But little did Mike know he was going to get his comeuppance. But before that, he got a plan. a very drastic plan, but that is for another time. Chapter 2 coming soon.